Nintendo has been a big part of the video game industry for decades, being arguably the most innovative company when it comes to gaming consoles and peripherals. As time moves on, Nintendo has very clearly changed their goal from making the most powerful console to making the most marketable consoles. What do I mean? Stick around as we dive into Nintendo home consoles and peripherals. I'm Jake Kett, coming to you with Animated Apparel, and if you want to look into some retro Nintendo clothing, check out our link in the description, and even use code JAKE for 20% off of your order. In the 80s and early 90s, Nintendo had a popular saying,
"The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power."
Now you're playing with power. But as time has gone by, we have definitely drifted away from that slogan. With the Wii being introduced in 2006 to compete with the PS3 and Xbox 360, it was definitely the weakest home console of that generation. If you picked up the new Call of Duty to play on your Wii, you may have found yourself slightly disappointed when comparing it to other versions of the game. But hey, at least you had motion controls. But this didn't stop the Wii from being Nintendo's current best-selling home console. The Wii did not tend to focus on gamers, but instead non-gamers, having something for everyone, with easy controls and innovative games to help you get on your feet. Nintendo seemed to follow this trail with the Wii U being announced, featuring the gamepad as the new gimmick. We all know how the Wii U turned out though. Nintendo newest console, and arguably their most innovative one yet, is the Nintendo Switch, with so many new ways to play, whether you be at home or on the go. Reggie Fils-Aimé, the former president of Nintendo, even revealed that Nintendo's life as a console producer depended on the success of the Nintendo Switch, saying the Nintendo Switch was a make-or-break product. These consoles are all well-known examples of Nintendo's innovation, but let's dive into some lesser-known consoles and peripherals. The Virtual Boy was introduced in 1995 and was marketed by Nintendo as the first stereoscopic 3D console. This console had an odd design and required the user to place their head against an eyepiece. The design of this constantly makes me think of a very outdated virtual reality headset. A few odd Nintendo peripherals we are going to dive into include the U-Force, the Power Glove, and Rob. The U-Force was a controller for the NES where instead of physically pressing buttons on a controller, it electronically sensed your movement and reacted with a button input. The more well-known Power Glove was a controller released for the NES in 1989 and only received 2 games specifically made for it, Super Glove Ball and Bad Street Brawler. The glove has original NES controller buttons as well as program buttons. The user could use the program buttons to input commands like changing the firing rate of buttons. The controller also allowed the player to perform hand motions to control a character on screen. Lastly, one of my favorite Nintendo peripherals of all time is Rob, a robotic operating buddy. Much like the Power Glove, only 2 officially licensed games were published for Rob, which were Gyromite and Stack Up. Rob could be used to substitute for a second player in the 2 released games. And there are a few odd Nintendo peripherals. Over the years, Nintendo's gone from playing with power to discovering how to make their consoles stand out and marketable to non-gamers. If you like this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and maybe even check out my personal channel, Jake Kett, for more gaming-related content.